best value.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Expect mostly sunny skies and just a beautiful way to start off the work week. We'll reach a high of 77. Winds turning out of the northeast at around 10. Clear tonight with a low dropping down to around 49. It will be warm and windy tomorrow. We'll reach a high of 85 with south winds gusting to 30. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Monday. We are back. Old School. Kenny Woolhite, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, AO in the house on the ones and twos.
AO.
That's right.
Like
that sounds like some stuff Trick we're doing, but we in here. The Triangle of Trust is up in here, like always. Brought to you by the Mercato, certified Piedmontese and special ingredients and butcher shop, located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat, every type of cut. It is a balmy 75 plus, no wind, so that
Beautiful.
means that grill could be lit up like a Christmas tree, smoker included. Head on down to Mercado and get whatever you want and whatever you like in abundance. But it is Monday after the Masters, new week of spring ball. They got the WNBA draft tonight. Odell Beckham Jr. got signed.
Broke off.
Boy, them Jets over there up there penny pinching, and you could have had a 1.5 receiver, maybe not a true number one, but one that could play like a number one every once in a while and let it slip off for $2 or $3 million. Amateur night. Amateur move.
They still don't have a quarterback.
Exactly. They say he coming, but that's like waiting on the lottery ticket to hit. Then you got the play-in games. Got drama down in Dallas with the Mavericks. You got drama up there with my T-Wolves. You had a scrap. It must have been like how you have a full moon and sometimes the stuff happens. I saw the Clippers fighting. I think Miles Plumlee or whatever his name is. What's his name?
Yeah, Miles Plumlee and Bones Highland.
And Bones Highland.
He ain't big as a pencil.
But he the one that was fighting up in Denver. That's what he just said. Hey, look, you know what it was. He had some incentives. He need that rock. Miles Plumlee had that rock. They said, look, we just scrap it out then. And then you got your boy Rudy Gobert up there. My man Rudy Gobert, though, when he thought COVID was fake, rubbed it all over the microphone. Then he got your boy Donovan Mitchell with COVID sick, and their relationship been strained. He fighting his teammate Anderson, who might be the slowest old man game in the league. And he a brother, Andy from Minneapolis, but he just booted up on him and just was calling him the B word. Drama everywhere, and let alone Jake Sorensen's boy at the Masters wore a big pair of Huggies and dookie right down his leg. The moment was too big.
Stage too bright.
Choked. Like a mug. You know what? We're going to get right into the Masters, man. I don't know if you got to watch it, Kenny. I don't know if I like to watch golf. The first 2 days, Brooks Koepka played flawless. He was on the right end on the draw, so I don't know if you know what the draw is. So what it means is when you tee off, and there was weather coming in and down there, so he teed off, I think, late than early. So he had the benign conditions. A lot of times, down south or anywhere, sometimes it's calm before the storm, no wind and everything. So he was able to take advantage of the course, and he was playing well at that time. He was at the halfway mark, which is after 36 holes when they make the cut. Number one, he was at 12 under, which I think might have been the best score to par at that point in time, or one of them in Augusta history. And also, Kenny, there's also a thing like this, and we don't have a good analogy in football, except for if we were running the 300-yard shuttle and we got it done before the lightning came, and everybody else got to run the 300-yard shuttle twice. We got both of ours in. That's really what it came down to. Them first two rounds, Kenny, are how we had to run the 300-yard shuttle twice. So for you people out there, I've done all the conditioning tests you could think of in the league. 10 100s, 16 40s, 12 110s and all that BS. The one that really tests your manhood and tests your heart is the 300-yard shuttle the time based on your position. Because it's it's from the goal line to the 25-yard line, down and back 6 times.
That's one.
That's
down
one.
and back is one, but you have to do it 6 times.
Down and back is one, and you got to do it twice with minimal rest in between, like what, 5 minutes? So?
Yeah, 5 minutes rest in between.
And see, the 5-minute rest in between, your legs fill up with lactic acid, but you can't lay around because you don't want to get stiff. You don't want to walk around because you want to rest. So you got to be strategic. So to golf, that's what it is when you're playing at the Masters. The first round and the second round. So Brooks Koepka was able to get both of his rounds done before the weather hit, and everybody else had to play in really, really bad weather. So bad that they probably should have called the tournament, well before they did. And he started off with, a sizable lead. And John Rahm, the Spanish bull. Well, hey, Kenny, it's like somebody running the 400 got that lead, and they just hawked him down.
That piano jumped on his back.
Hey, but just was staring at him too, though. He was my man had. I mean, for you, I've seen John Rahm one time, and it was like on a humbug. I was in Atlanta airport, and it might have been at the Masters, but I was going out to eat, or something. It was actually I was coming back, and there were some golfers that were connecting. Homeboy 6'2", like a legit 6'2", 220.
So he put together then.
Yeah, and husky though, like fullback type. I mean, he legit 6'2". Like I'm 6'2" and a half. He kind of, we looking at. He ain't no fake 6'2", and he ain't really like ripped up, and he ain't doing no arm curl. He just a big dude, and he was walking cats down with and putting a dagger in the heart, man.
How much he get paid for that?
He won like $3 million, $3.5 million. Let me get that. Hey, let me snatch
I'll
that.
take that up off you. Let me have it. Drop it like it's hot.
Because
$3.25 million.
$3.25 million. And he was down by 3 strokes in the third round, because you got to think. So Brooks Koepka was able to be at 11 under after his third round, I think, or 12 under after his third round.
12 under. I just saw 12 under.
John Rahm had to finish in torrential downpour in cold weather, and then sit and wait. And then me and you gonna play 18 holes together.
Pressure bust pipes, bro.
Walked him down.
Jeez.
And then the whole element. I don't know, Kenny, if you know what the Live Golf and stuff like that was there, because they're a different league. They don't play 4 rounds, so they don't get world ranking points. Their leader Greg Norman kind of spearheaded this thing, and so really a lot of players now, if they don't perform well in these majors, if they're able to get in, they kind of just go off in the abyss the way it sits right now, because you're not playing regular tournaments on the PGA and European Tour. So you got to go play way over in the Asian Tour or whatever. And them world ranking points that you get, even if you win a tournament, it's like peanuts.
So don't come back over here.
You get points, but so if you win a tournament over there and get like 100th place over here or 50th, that's worth 50th is worth more than that over there, because it's based on the strength of the field.
Gotcha.
So they out in the abyss right now, but they had some players that played well. It was somewhat exciting TV. I was a little disappointed just in the weather. It's just kind of like, playing a game, and it'd be like this, Kenny. First game of the season. Nowhere, no how should it be any thunderstorm. Well, I mean, Sky's got that's what it's like. You work all off season, first game of the season, and then next thing you know, lightning.
Delayed.
Canceled. And that's the thing about Augusta down there. I know
it's I mean, you're gonna get weather down there though. That weather crazy.
Yeah, but usually there's like the golf guys down there like protect Augusta.
They put that big umbrella over.
They were busy protecting the patrons, I suppose we have to call them. Those 2 trees.
Oh,
that fell down.
Yeah. I saw that big tree.
God must have been down there I'm just gonna scare y'all. I told y'all to get off this course 2 hours ago. So I'm just going to lay these big old trees right next to you. 1, 2, 3. Now you get my message. Then they said, you know what? That's a good idea. We should be done.
Yeah.
Just imagine you just sitting there, me and you, like us 3 at the Masters chilling and exciting. Probably got rain and all that stuff. and you just, you know, how you feel something in the back, like behind you, like, damn, you look at you think something behind it? Boom.
First off, I'm leaving on the first side of Thunder and Lightning.
First, I love watching golf. I am not gonna be out there in 40-degree weather, windy, watching no man play golf when they don't want to be out there.
No, I'm out.
And they say you got to leave once you know, like they say you can't stay and hang around underneath the trees. You got to go.
That's what it's gonna hit.
No, I'm just saying, like, say like it's just like rain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you got to go. Find something else to do.
I don't like being out in the rain anyway, so if it's raining, I'm gone.
Yeah, it was a good tournament. I think it's always good. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, I think the one thing I wanted to ask you about is they're doing this thing to where sometimes they're doing like having some well-known players have like a AirPod in, and none of them play good. Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, and Max Homa, none of them played good.
They had an AirPod in there,
or like an earpiece in. So they're interviewing them while they're out there playing the Masters.
No, that's taking your concentration away.
Yeah, I was wondering, what do you think about that? What would you think?
No.
Yeah,
no,
right?
No.
Like you getting ready for the play of Colorado. No, Kenny, what you thinking?
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, and none of them played.
There you go.
Played well.
And I just saw that Mickelson finished
second. He wanted to go. He was way out there.
He was way out there.
But see, that's the best way for it. First of all, he probably knew before he teed off. And whether a golfer wants to admit or not, you know who's at the lead, whether they're going to choke or not, and what he would have to do in order to possibly get in the playoff. He was playing for that check.
He almost came and got it.
He playing for that check because he's thinking like, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm getting paid anyway, so I'm just going at every flag. See, that's the difference in mentality of a guy that's playing with house money that you could tell that's why he a gambler.
I got a question for you, both of you guys. Can you put a golfer in the conversation of best athlete ever?
You can put him in. You could probably put Tiger in there
as the best athlete ever.
One of them, but like but it's all relative to his sport. But you can't do it like he ain't like up there with like Jesse Owens and LeBron and like Jordan and them.
I'm with Jay. I mean, best at their sport, but in terms of best athlete, I have a hard time making that argument.
I do think golf is a more athletic sport than people give it credit for.
I didn't say it wasn't an athletic sport. I'm just saying, can you put him in a conversation as the best athlete ever?
Best winner of all time, maybe, but not an athlete.
It's. I mean, it's a short conversation.
I've had this conversation with a couple people, and they continue to say that Tiger is one of the best athletes ever.
Well, I mean, if you're going like 20, I mean, you got to think the things that he's able to do. He's reshaped the whole game of golf.
Yes,
worldwide. I mean, so with that alone, he's above a lot of other people. He's changed the whole game. I mean, to be honest with you, Augusta, where they're the only major that's the same course every single year. They changed their course because of Tiger. Yeah. They changed the rules of golf because of Tiger. So in that case, then you got to have a conversation. It's kind of like when, you know, Wilt and those guys were dunking. They were like, oh, no, you know, no more dunks. You just changing the game. Y'all just, you just up there just wrecking shop. You know what I'm saying? Like Lawrence Taylor. Like he just obliterating
no more
everybody.
Sacks. Can't do it. No, that's crazy. So now I just want to ask y'all that question because it's been brought up to me a couple times, and I'm like, listen, bro, he's good at his sport. I mean, I understand that golf is an individual sport, so you're playing mind games with yourself in that course and that ball, but you can't just say he's one of the best.
A lot of people are saying that's why Koepka fell off, was because he got done so quickly. He was tired of waiting around, so he almost psyched himself out
a little bit. But I also think that only playing 54 holes hurts those guys. Because it's like Kenny, like us playing 3/4. And when it's okay, it's just, you know, Coach Osborne, we were prepared to go full into overtime.
Yes.
Every single game.
Yes.
But if you're not prepared to go that far, or if you haven't been in that type of arena, it's totally different.
And that's what he always said. We're going to be the best shaped team out there. So.
And you got to constantly sharpen your knife. Yep. Your iron's got to be sharpened. And you can't take a year off and not be in competition like that, because it's different. I have a couple friends that played on the PGA Tour, and there's a difference between guys like Koepka that have won and guys that are kind of, show their head a little bit. It's definitely dedication and being okay with being in that type of arena And for somebody like Koepka and all those guys, yes, they played well, and not taking anything away from it, but I do think not being used to that type of competition, that type of pressure, because you could be so dominant. I mean, Jordan Spieth he's the one. He lost the Masters down on hole number 12. So it can happen to anybody, but if you're not used to going that far, no matter if you have 10 guys who are the best in the world and you guys are only playing 2 rounds or 3 rounds, and it's not to the same, it's just different. I'm sure it is. It's not. Is that the only reason? No. Rahm went out and won it. Koepka didn't play his best. It could happen to anybody. Does it? I'm a big firm believer in the golf stamina, that you have the stamina to continue to hit the ball like that under pressure, and that's the way it is. It was on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably say it's 5 Masters. Really wasn't that exciting, because I think the Masters is the most exciting when it's bunched up on Sunday. At least 3 or 4 groups, they got guys that can win.
They can win it.
So you're constantly at must-see TV, versus when them dudes teed off, they're the only dudes you want to watch. I mean, Phil Mickelson was great. It's a great story. And I think Phil's the type of dude that will always be able to play good at Augusta. Same with Tiger. Obviously Tiger's different because of injuries, but they just know the course. They know how to putt there. They know how to do everything there. And so, it was good. It was okay Masters. Nothing to be excited about, but we'll see what the next one beholds and see how this all turns out. But it's a good first segment for Old School. I think we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the NBA drama and the play-in games, because it starts tomorrow. We're going to go right into the Timberwolves. We're going to go right into the Timberwolves, though, because I got a unique feeling, a different feeling on that. I think sometimes drama brings the team closer together, especially going on the road. But after this break, we'll come back and touch on that. Jay Foreman, Kenny Wilhite. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock, or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Lincoln Earth Day is on Saturday, April 15th at UNL's Innovation Campus. Green vehicles, local foods, live music, and fun family-friendly activities from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sponsored by Johanna Rhodes Real Estate. More event details at rhoadshomes.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 Tall Boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Spring Sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rush into your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That was way too comfortable doing that. That's what that was. Woo. We are back. Old School. Jay Foreman, Kenny Wilhite. We are up in the building on this beautiful Monday. Hopefully spring is leading into summer. Nebraska don't really have a spring. You go spring for like a week, and then you know what? We're just going hot. We're just going to just warm y'all up.
Love it.
Well, we talked about it in the intro. We're going to talk about it right now. The NBA playoffs are starting. It's mostly all set. They got the play-in games. It was drama-filled Saturday. Udonis Haslem retired. Mm-hmm. You know, he was 42 years old, scored 24 points, the most in NBA history for somebody that old.
Class act.
Tough.
And by that organization, too.
Yep, but our organization, which is why the Miami Heat have always been a winning team in a culture. And you got to give it up to Pat Riley and all those guys to win a championship with Dwayne Wade, Lonzo Mourning, and Shaq, and then obviously do it with LeBron, with Dwayne, and Chris Bosh and those guys, and Ray Allen. It lets you know that it's not just, you know, the weather. It's a classy organization, and he's been there for a long time. I think he played 20 years, undrafted. From Fort Lauderdale or Miami area, kind of like the godfather of Miami. So give them credit for it. So that was good to see him to go out on a high note. And they're in the playoffs and see if he can extend it.
Now, he played college ball at Florida.
Florida,
right?
yeah.
Yes. So
so he's a Florida boy, and I mean he's one of the few that's been able to be from Florida, go to University of Florida, play for the Heat, play there his whole career. Through a few coaches and changes, and he's been the constant. And but he's a good representation of the Miami Heat and the NBA.
And we were talking about that before break. Rudy Gobert, he got into it with one of the teammates too. Haslam.
Oh, Haslam did.
Yeah, but there wasn't no punches thrown, but he was basically telling them that's not the Miami Heat way.
Right. He had to flex on a younger guy.
Yes.
And then he also flexed on Jimmy Butler.
Yes, he did.
And walked him down. And he told him, you don't want none of this.
You don't want that smoke.
Right. You don't. You just don't.
Jimmy's probably a guy that probably did, but
it's the respect
factor.
And Jimmy know he was right.
Yeah, he knows he was right.
Even though you get heated, and this is what people understand, like if me and Kenny playing together and we competing and we can get on each other and we might go nose to nose, but we know one was right or we both right or we both wrong, and then we squash it. Whereas this Rudy Gobert situation, he had just talked glowingly about Ryan Anderson, said that the way he talks is a little aggressive, but it's coming from a good place. I think I'm going to say this. Now, I don't think with Kenny, I'm not going to, you can jokingly say the B word to somebody that you know, but I'm not going to call you like that with the intent of what he was doing, especially in front of teammates. Because so when I was a rookie, Sam Cowart and Sam Rogers, they used to do all that, but it was jokingly matter, right? But I think what Ryan Anderson might been trying to do is push Rudy Gobert's buttons to play better. I don't think that's the right way to do it. Obviously, we've seen with Draymond, it didn't work well with KD. I think it had long-term effects of when he cold-cocked old boy Poole.
Mm-hmm.
I think they might be coming out of it, but I just think their season was over. And we'll see what happens with the Timberwolves. They're a young team, a fragile team too. They're a fragile team because you got Anthony Edwards, who's one of my favorite players, Ant-Man, I call him. But he's a young player and he's not a vocal leader yet,
no.
Right? He's still trying to find it. I mean, he's only 20 years old. He's still trying to find his way into the NBA and really establish himself from a leadership standpoint. He's just a, up and coming guy. Then you got Rudy Gobert, who comes in a big trade, who's trying to fit in with another 7-footer in Karl Anthony Towns, who is kind of like the supposed leader of the
Poster
team.
child, yep.
But he's soft as Charmin.
Golly.
7 foot trying to play out there like he is
a guard.
Right, like he a guard. And then you got rid of the trade with the Lakers. And so it's been kind of revolving door there, and you got Ryan Anderson, who's kind of like their leader, but he's not their best player, but he's the kind of like the glue. And McDaniels, they got some guys that are defensive players that aren't your star players. So they're a very fragile team because what, in my experience of seeing it, and I saw this a little bit in Houston, right? Now David Carr wasn't the type of player that Anthony Edwards was, but what you see here is you have a couple good leaders, or 2 or 3 kind of like nut and bolts guys, and then you have one guy that's trying to be the leader, Karl Anthony Towns. One guy that eventually will be is Anthony Edwards, but Karl Anthony Towns isn't that guy.
No. So we talked about it. Leaders, there's different types of leaders. Karl Anthony Towns may not be the best leader. Edwards may be the best leader, but he doesn't know how to lead, and he's still young.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the guys that you think are your leaders aren't really good leaders.
Right.
So they're all there. I guess we'll figure out if they can patch things up because tomorrow's it.
Yeah, I mean the loser gets to play.
They get to play
again, but you want to win this game.
You want to win this game.
Yeah.
So
and you playing on the road with the Lakers.
Yes.
And you got Bron, and you without Rudy Gobert, who's a defensive factor.
factor.
Now you got Karl Anthony Towns is going to play a position that he hadn't been playing all year. I wanted to ask you about leadership, and obviously it pertains to the Timberwolves, but then also the football. 2 things. How big of a deal is it, obviously in a negative, is it when you have a player that's a leader through the media and not your best player, or not a good player and doesn't back up his words that he's saying? But, obviously he's always the guy that has the quotes and always,
been down that road.
Right. Talk about that, how it affects in your locker room, because here's what people don't understand. Everybody, 98% of Nebraska be like, oh, so-and-so is the leader of the team because he's the guy that you see
in front of the
camera. But in the locker room,
bad.
Nobody's believing him because what he's saying on camera isn't matching up in the weight room, in the locker room, in the meeting room. and on the practice field, and when you play, because you're anointed by the media, and so they're highlighting the plays that you play good. But me and Kenny are seeing all the plays that you know that you busting coverages, you ain't taking on the block away you're supposed to, or you're jumping off sides, or you're running the wrong route. You know what I'm saying?
Or you're on this list, you're on that list, you
Right.
missed this, you missed that,
Right.
you're late for this, you're late for that.
Talk about that from your experience, obviously being in the staff meetings, and also talk about I can't speak for you, but we didn't really have that when I was around, but I've seen it a lot in the league though.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about that. Talk about the two different perspectives, staff, player perspective, because you can talk on the player's perspective because you're so close with all the players, and they'd probably I can't speak for, they came and kind of voiced some of their displeasures.
Yes. So like you said, you can have a guy that's self-appointed leader because he's always in front of the media. And then not all of them are this way, but you'll have some that the media self-appoint as a leader that's not a good leader.
Right.
And the guys take offense to that. But it also comes from
upstairs?
From the head coach.
Yeah, that's what it's upstairs.
It's okay.
Anywhere above the locker room is upstairs.
True, that's
now
true. Yeah.
You got different stops
Now
because you don't want to be on level 5 because that's when you ready to get up out of town.
Yeah, so
you want to stay on 3 or 4.
Again, you just try to educate that person. You're going to be in front of the media saying this and saying that. Now you gotta do it. You can't just say it and not do it. Then it falls on the coaches.
Right.
The coaches cannot continue to let that person go in front of the media, say things that he's really not doing. And if you continue to do that, that's a bad look for the other guys in the locker room. They're going to take offense to it.
Right.
They're not going to be too happy.
And they ain't going to listen.
And they're not going to. And that's the biggest part. They're
Yeah.
not going to listen.
Yeah.
To what he's saying because they know he's a fraud.
Because even if he's saying the right things, it's hollow words.
Yes.
And that's what people don't understand. And I always say this about football players because that's all I know. Basketball players, I'm sure they have. I mean, Strick would probably say something. He would say, football players, I say, are like wolves, like wolves. And it doesn't matter. You could be a lone wolf, and you could be in the airport, and you can look and you're like, yeah, I know he's a former football player.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could kind of like look him in the eyes and like, yeah, I know he's legit, or he one of them phony dudes. Straight up. It doesn't matter if you play, in Canada, the NFL, you could play an indoor league. You just know. You know it within the guys that we played with.
Yep. You can look at somebody in the eye and be like, yeah.
And you know whether he sold out or not.
Yes.
Where he sold out, I mean, is like he gave you everything.
Yes.
Or was he one of those me guys, or something like that. But I'm just telling you, for the Timberwolves, they're fragile. But it could go two ways. It could break him, and they could go out there. It could be like, here's an example for NBA fans. It could be like when the Charlotte Hornets made the playoffs, and Miles Bridges and those guys went out and stuff like that in Atlanta the night before the game, and then one of them kind of got put on social media.
Mm-hmm.
You out 3 o'clock, you playing ice tray the next day, and they got
blown out the gym.
And then Jordan lit into him, and they ain't been the same since.
Mm-mm.
Even though you got LaMelo, Miles Bridges is in the win. He tricked off a $200 million contract or whatever, right? I mean, just straight up, he ain't been the same since.
No, he hasn't.
Or it could galvanize a team where they could say, you know what, bump it. We're going to go in and play loosey-goosey. We ain't supposed to win this game and have an upset victory. And that could kind of galvanize them. But the thing about the Timberwolves that's suspect, when they played Memphis last year, and this is what I'm talking about, Karl Anthony Towns, and your biggest vocal leader has to have that dog in him when it's called upon. And that's why people trip on LeBron. LeBron got it in him because when LeBron boots up to him, people know, like, all right, okay, that's enough. When they played Memphis, every game that they lost, besides the last one, they were up by more double digits and lost that game. Karl Anthony Towns had, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, at least one game where he only had 2 points. Another game he was below double figures.
Can't do that.
Right.
You got to show up.
But that's the lifeline of your team. When you got a guy that's going out like a punk, and you got Anthony Edwards out here dropping 30-some points, and because Anthony Edwards is superstar, but he's a guy's guy. He hanging out with Anderson, McDaniels, because he got that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Karl Anthony Towns in the offseason is out in L.A. doing his thing, trying to look sweet. So if but Darian Fox is from Kentucky, and he's a full-fledged dog.
Yeah, he is. He's been different since he cut his hair.
Yeah.
When he had that long hair, he really wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when he cut his hair, he just took off.
Yeah, that's the opposite. He just looked like Samson back in the day. Lost his strength. My man and got his strength.
He got his strength, man.
He worked, and then he got his boy Monk with him too. Them two together. I know they was causing trouble back in Kentucky together because they was them two together. They have no qualms of digging into somebody down there in Sacramento.
No.
But if I had to bet, my Timberwolves might go out there and dookie down their leg. If I had to bet.
Okay, Heat and Hawks.
You know what? I'm going to go with what I know.
Okay.
Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the league.
Yes.
They're one of the best organizations.
Yes.
And Jimmy Butler in the playoffs is a totally different cat.
Jimmy Buckets.
And I think Young and Trey Young and Murray, it just hasn't gelled.
It hasn't gelled yet.
And I don't know if it ever will. You hardly hear Trey Young's name.
You barely hear his name.
He's playing so well this year. And they don't play a lick of defense, and they fired Nate McMillan. I'm going with the Miami Heat.
Nice. Bulls, Raptors.
You know what? The Raptors is a great organization.
They're far removed from that championship.
Yeah, I know, but they got something up there.
Van Fleet.
But he got that dog. Don't let that light skin fool you. I'm gonna go with Chicago.
I'm
gonna go with Chicago.
Pelicans, Thunder.
I'm gonna go with Pelicans. I'm gonna go with the Pelicans. They got
Zion playing?
Nah.
Nope.
Are you still going with the Pelicans?
Yep. They got CJ McCollum. And then they got Ingram. And he be killing folks. And they got that big Russian dude in the middle, Valkauskis or whatever.
Valanciunas.
He definitely going to be a bodyguard when he done.
Yeah.
Because he got the hair slicked back, big B. Hey, you got that money, you old boy. I'm gonna go with them. I like their coach. I like their mentality. I think they've underachieved, but I think if they would have had Zion, they wouldn't even be here. They would have been up in the West. I just think they're a little bit okay. OKC has a ton of talent. If they get a veteran there, they're gonna be trouble.
That's all they need. I got a chance to watch them
up close, right?
Up close, and they just need a big man.
Right.
They don't have a big man.
Is that Chet Holmgren?
No.
Even though Chet's hit the weights, that was really fast.
No, Chet ain't no big man.
No.
He ain't no big man.
Yeah.
But he don't need to be.
No.
They need a Steven Adams in there to be a holder down in the middle.
And whatever happened to him?
He got hurt.
They traded him to Memphis.
Yeah, they traded him to Memphis. But he's hurt now.
And he is hurt.
Out the whole postseason. So those are our picks for the play-in game. Big drama starting tomorrow. We're going to have a short one here right at the end of the hour. Then at the top of the hour, we're going to cover some spring ball and see where we're going, man, because, we got to talk about this quarterback room. Because Heinrich Haarberg, H2, we're going to call him H2 Homer.
H2.
Hey, man, I keep watching that video. He laid old boy out. And the thing is, the fact that he's always in the videos lets you know he's making noise, man. So we're going to talk about that coming back. Top of the hour. Kenny Wilhite, Jay Foreman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and I'm protecting it now by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Get up to date while it's still free and stay protected. Learn more at healthylincoln.org.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, April 14th. I am back. You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
For great views, go to Kansas. For unforgettable views of action-packed racing, go to Kansas Speedway. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 6th and 7th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Imagine your next staff meeting. Now imagine your next staff meeting with a side of ribs. Your next client presentation? Or that same client presentation with brisket and baked beans. It's better, right? Let Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul take care of all of your business catering needs. Feed the staff, cater your next event, whatever you need, Mary Ellen's can help. They can even host your events in their brand new event space located right next to the restaurant. Go see for yourself. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake or online at maryellens.com. Let them fix you a plate.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Expect mostly sunny skies and just a beautiful way to start off the work week. We'll reach a high of 77. Winds turning out of the northeast around 10. Clear tonight with a low dropping down to around 49. It will be warm and windy tomorrow. We'll reach a high of 85 with south winds gusting to 30. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Short segment. We got about 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
I think, right? To get back on time. Right, Austin?
Yes, sir.
So this is a 2-minute segment.
I ain't never done nothing.
Now you're down to
2
1
minutes,
minute.
man.
Clock's ticking.
Yeah, that ain't my
1 minute, Joe.
That ain't, nah, man. That ain't it. We leave that to strict.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you this, Kenny, in regards to the NFL.
Okay.
Let's just play like if the Jets get Aaron Rodgers. What's your prediction on amount of wins?
9.
9? They ain't even making the playoffs.
You said that? You think that?
No, if you win 9 games in the AFC, you ain't making you
9.
You might be wild card. Might
9.
That's if Buffalo, Dookie, and that's Buffalo, New England. I mean, that
goes to show you. They've taken this too long. There's 9 wins.
Who wins more games? Let me ask you this. Aaron Rodgers and his team, whoever say the Jets, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Well, we don't know if Lamar playing for the Ravens.
Just say
if he plays for the Ravens, he's going to win. He's going to win more. He's got OBJ now.
So Pittsburgh did look like they got a little better. Cleveland looked like they got a little better. And you guys, first of all, you know Cincinnati going to come with it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forget he's a core. I thought they
Pickett.
Yeah.
Little hands Pickett.
Yeah, you're right. So he done.
Okay.
I'm sorry, AD. AD loved him Pittsburgh.
I know he does. So sad.
So you think Lamar, even though if he comes back and play on franchise tag, he can win more than Aaron?
Yep. Because he's going to be Lamar. He's going to do Lamar things. If he's healthy, 100% healthy.
Yeah, if he comes back mad, like.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. League in trouble.
Yes.
They're going to be brothers out there pulling hamstrings. Ankles all swollen.
Ankles swollen.
Yeah.
Hammies tight.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. Because I think Cleveland is dead in the water. And I think Pittsburgh's dead in the water. So if you Baltimore and you get back to have some sort of resemblance, you can definitely beat 9 wins.
Yep.
For
That's
reference, last year, Kansas City had 14 wins, Buffalo 13, Cincinnati 12. Jags won the AFC South with 9. The Chargers had 10.
So both of them could probably make it.
9 wins, player.
Because you gotta think like a Jags ain't gonna be able to
replicate that.
They just going to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I like that. Top of the hour, when we come back, we're gonna dive into the Husker football factory because we're inching close. We're inching close to the spring game. Get a first little look in live action. Think it's gonna be actually a football game this year. And we're gonna talk a little bit about the quarterback room and expectations and what we could possibly see, if anything, a transfer portal after the spring. Jay Foreman, Kenny Warhite, Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union, how great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love being members?
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it was to move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union.
Learn more about being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Member NCUA.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
For great views, go to Kansas. For unforgettable views of action-packed racing, go to Kansas Speedway. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 6th and 7th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with approved credit.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April, with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627. Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required, as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, special ingredients, the butcher shop, 84th and Havelock, every type of meat, every type of cut. I'm Jay Foreman, Kenny Wilhite over there, Austin, AO on the ones and twos. I like Austin already because you want to know why? He liked them gummy bears. I'm going to tell you something, Austin.
I don't like them.
One of my fondest memories, though. Hold on, man. This is serious, though. This will touch your heart, man.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, man. I'm trying to let you inside just so you.
Okay.
You know, this is my grandfather, man, who was my dad was a huge influence, but my grandfather was the man. You know what I'm saying? And one of my biggest, I didn't have any control, but he got real sick with diabetes and stuff. So that's why I always, a big thing I do is donate to, to help fight diabetes and stuff. But he never got to see me play. And one thing he did, he served in the military, he played in the Negro Leagues, got to the military back then. That's the way you can kind of support your family. Then he ran Fort Detrick, which is, one of kind of like it's close to DC and stuff like that. And so when I used to go out there to see him or see my grandparents in Frederick, back then, they had to drive you to, to the airport, and we'd always stop at the grocery store. And, back then, when you fly, though, that was when you actually get a meal and stuff like that.
Meal.
And they could walk you to the gate and all that stuff. So he would always take me to the grocery store, and that was my thing is gummy bears. And it was because I was like, I'd be there all summer, and when you leave, I always be crying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, your boy Jay was shedding tears. So he hooked me up, and he had this Toyota, right, that he drove that my dad actually did like a commercial for, and gave it to my grandfather. And back then, you didn't need, you a little kid. I was up there riding shotgun, eating gummy bears.
No seatbelts,
yeah, no
car
seatbelt,
seats,
nothing.
no nothing.
Yeah.
We had somewhat similar childhoods. Whenever my grandpa came down, Navy guy,
Right.
had a Camry.
Yep.
We would always stop off at a gas station. He'd pick us up from school. Called it the Shell Mall, just Shell gas station.
Yeah.
We could get one drink and one piece of candy.
Yep. Giant foods.
Grandpas
man.
are it.
Every single time. I know we do. Once we get off that exit, I always be on like pins and needles. I know we're getting off on Giant Foods, and we hit that 270 up there to the airport, man. Fondest memory, Austin right there, got them gummy bears, so a little bit into my upbringing. But now, talk about this Husker football. It's April 10th. The spring game is April 22nd.
2 weeks away.
So it's 2 weeks away. I like to think this is where people start to separate themselves or have, and then this is the finish line, because I do think that your first spring ball as a organization, let's say, obviously I view what Matt Rule has done as kind of like an organization, you know what I mean? And so as a coaching staff that, and as a player, because it's highly competitive, every day has to count. And this separates the guys that can finish. This separates the guys that are truly there to compete because they want to be here, or are you a guy that has a good practice or a good series, or are you a guy that has you're
putting days together.
And the guys that are putting days together, slowly but surely, or a big gap is created,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's no looking back. And the reason why I think that happens, or where you can tell, is the amount of reps. Then you get the continuity going on too, because ultimately, for you fans out there, Kenny, and I want to ask you this, because you've been with several staffs, and regardless of how long you've been with them, when there's competition, there's competition. At what point in time do you guys sit down as a staff and talk about continuity? And the reason why I say this is because from a linebacker standpoint, being the middle linebacker who's kind of like the quarterback, I get familiar, unless it's like a Jason Peter. Look, that's my guy, right? But if it comes down to, like, say, Kenny or someone else, and I'm used to working with you, and I get that continuity with you, that's more important to me than you trying to satisfy some high school coach back in like New Jersey, or like somewhere, and force feed this dude down. Because ultimately, I like the continuity and somebody I can depend on. And the dependency comes from the amount of reps and how much I can trust you, and you can trust me, because we've already got to the point where I've made mistakes and you made mistakes, and we have these conversations in between series. How you going to play this? What you thinking here? Okay, this is call how I'm playing. Hey, man, that new defense, man? I'm kind of confused. What you think? Talk about that, because as a staff, do you guys take that into consideration, or do some staffs do, or some staffs don't? Because I think sometimes some staffs have been like, okay, well, that's great, Kenny and Jay work together, but we got this dude. We want to make sure Austin gets, keep feeding. You know what I mean? It's but.
It's been said, it's been done. For the most part, you want to try to get continuity established in spring ball. Again, season isn't won in spring ball, but you want to try to work on that continuity.
Right.
New staff, new system. You got to have continuity.
Right.
Regardless
Regardless of how long the staff's been here, new position coach.
You got to have it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, there's going to be holes on either side of the ball. Three phases.
Have you ever, like, I know when the players will talk to you and they be in competition, have you ever talked to them about you need to establish continuity, familiarity? Because I'm a firm believer is like your best availability or best ability is your availability.
Oh yeah, I talk to them all the time.
All right.
Like when you're in there with so and so, y'all got to talk. You can't just be sitting on your hands and not
drinking water.
Yeah, y'all got to. Even when you guys are not taking reps, when you come off the field, you got to talk.
Yeah.
Hey, what happened on this? What happened on that? What did you see? You have to. That way you're learning. You're getting to know what he knows, and you're getting to know what he doesn't know. So you have to talk.
Right.
And I always say, when you're not in, that's your best reps.
Oh yeah,
because now you're watching and you're seeing what they're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go out there, you don't make the same mistakes if they make a mistake. Or when you're watching, Jay and I can be saying, "Hey, did you see that? When they get in that formation, that's what they're running, or that's what they're doing. When they get in this formation, and that quarterback looks over there, this might be coming. So you can work on that continuity, even though when you're not taking the rep.
Boy, that's Coach Sam right there, ain't it?
I've heard it all too.
Hey, that Coach Sam is my man. We're gonna have him on.
Yes,
because we're gonna
have him on. Because speaking of him, he put a picture up of him on his bike
back in the day.
No,
just
now.
Oh yeah, I did see that,
and I commented. I said, "Watch out for mountain lions and coyotes."
Mm-hmm.
He told me they're in his backyard. I said, "Yeah, they get hungry. They like dark meat."
And he's gonna tell you what he said. I'm from the islands. I'm too
That's
sweet.
exactly what he says. I'm from the islands. Okay,
I'm gonna tell you, Coach Sam, and he said it. And the thing is about Coach Samuel, what made him such a great coach, he'd give you the answers to the test if you listen.
Yep.
If you actually took it to heart. I remember, and maybe like I said, it was dumb luck. It was, hey, look, man, I told Coach Brown I ain't playing receiver. Period. I ain't diving on the ground for nobody. If I'm gonna do that, I might as well go to like Miami or Iowa or something and at least I get 34 catches. I ain't doing that for no 20 catches, man.
Mm-mm.
I love Nebraska. I love TU. That's just, look, man. I'm just too pretty to do all that. No, I'm just playing. And then I was like, I knew I could play safety. I only got to play 3 or 4 games in high school, but I know I could run and hit, and I know I could play angles on the ball just because my time as a ball boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I worked with. So they would like, hey, man, let me see you get in these drills. So they were throwing me in there, and I was 12, 13 years old, right?
Working on them feet.
But then Coach D was like, nah, man, you ain't Eric Warfield, you ain't Trey Creighton, you ain't Octavius McFarland, man. You ain't good enough. I was like, cool. Then Coach Steele was like, hey, I ain't got nobody to coach. So now I got to play linebacker. And then Coach Sam got to Coach Sam, his big project, Grant Wishner was coming in. He had to make sure homeboy was ready because he was the USA Today Defensive Player of the Year. So, but when Coach Sam used to talk to us, though, he say, look, man, study the tape. Your best rep is when you're not in.
You're not in.
Your mental rep. When you're at practice, every rep counts.
Yep.
If so-and-so, if one guy gets that play, eventually you're going to get it. Put it in your memory bank. This is the time you can come up and watch tape. I encourage you to watch everybody, every single rep. And I'm telling you, I was like, the light went off. I was like, cool. Ain't nothing to do. Go up there and watch some tape. Because at that point, even in spring, at the beginning of spring, I wasn't getting no reps. I was getting like 3-4 reps. See, you over there laughing. See, here's the problem, Austin. Here's the problem with DBs. Like Kenny. See, that laugh right there. Hold on. Like that laugh right there is the same laugh Mike Minner was laughing. That's the same laugh like Tony Veland never laughed at me because he knew I was mad. And Tony just he like Al Capone. He cool as
the other side of the
pillow. Eric Stokes would be like just shaking his head like, yeah, I feel you. You know what I mean? And then we had Tyrone Williams. He, man, just say it, right? But that laugh right there, that's why me and Mike had to almost throw blows, man, because I was hot. You know what I'm saying? Because Mike had walked past when I pulled T. Sam like to the side, like, hey, man, you got me 7/8 on the depth chart. Man, what's wrong with you? And Mike Minner was laughing at me. He walking around, he's like, look at this joker over here. You know what I mean? He laughing at me. Then he was in the training room when I walked in there because he knew I was hot because I was talking to Doak.
Doak was our
psychologist. Doak would just talk you off the ledge.
He would talk you off the ledge.
Every single time.
Yes, he would.
I mean,
how would he talk you off the ledge? What went into that conversation?
Doak was always real calm, listen to you,
then give you really good
advice. He'd be like, yeah, let's think about it this way. Yep. Even to this day.
Yes. He still
even
does.
To this day, when if I'm calling him and he'll let me go off, he'd be like, let's look at it from another side. One of the best humans I ever came across.
Yep.
But he knew he would jab you, to kind of keep you on point. Yep. He would challenge you.
Yep.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this is like Doak when I was I like tweaked my hamstring and I wanted to go on spring break. Him and T.O. had decided I wasn't going to go on spring
you
break.
On the South Padre Island or South Beach?
Nah, I was here, hot, mad as all get out. But Doak said, let's think about this. Is spring break worth you continue to, obviously to be a starter? And he worked me hard, came back and never had any hamstring issues, actually ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it was worth it. But at the time, I was very short-sighted.
Same with me. I mean, I tore my knee, my ACL, 8th game of the year, November, had surgery, and Doak was my personal rehab. And some of the things I said to him.
Oh, Doak, hey, Austin. Austin, we say Doak's a great person. Every person that is close with Doak wanted to fight him.
Yes.
I used to look at Doak, man. I was like, man, I want to knock your damn head off.
But he would say, that's not going to get you back on the field next year.
Right.
He'll just say subtle things
and
like
then
that.
He'll let you cool off. Like, all right, man, let's get some reps in.
Yeah.
You still mad?
He'll say subtle things like that, and then he'll challenge you.
Yes.
He would challenge you, and to the point where you'd be like, okay, maybe he is right.
Yeah.
But you have a point.
Yeah. But then he would tell you about somebody like Pryor.
Yes.
That you might be looked up to.
Yes.
Or a great player in Nebraska. So he always kept you on point. And you could trust him. Yeah, I'm going to tell you one thing about Doak. You could trust him with your health. Like, you know what I'm saying? He'd do the best for you. And I will say this. The one mistake I made when I was a pro, or two. Wait, well, the only two I want to talk about. Two. In reference to Doak. When I had my really, really bad injury, the one mistake I made is I should have came back here and have Nebraska take care of me. Now, granted, the guy that did my surgeries in Houston was fine. But I think that whether they say it or not, they're employed by the team. Somehow they're getting paid, whether it's by insurance or obviously referral, me going there. It's coming back here and being in the hands of Doak. Now, I came back here and Doak rehabbed me on his way, and it was like a week or two, but I used it as I was going, and I started to take off. So got a little bit off of a tangent, but it all comes down to film study.
Yep.
And it comes down to separating yourself.
Yep.
The biggest and most prominent story that's going to come out of spring, especially with the spring game, is the quarterback room.
And people keep bringing that up. I don't think you're going to have an answer.
You're not going to have a clear answer.
You're not going to have a clear answer
because
Casey's out. You're not going to have a clear answer till the fall. It's good that the other guys are getting reps, and you know what they have, but you're not going to have a clear starter until the fall. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this: if you're Casey, and he's watching practice, and he's doing some individual work,
yes.
So and he's in the meetings and stuff like so. He's engaged. But also, he's able to see guys' weaknesses as well.
Mm-hmm.
In case he's a student of the game and has been in tough situations, and he's a tough kid, right? And you think to the fact that the amount of hits he's taken and the way he's played last year. Let me ask you, do you think it's actually in Casey's advantage to be out? Because and now granted, every player wants to play, but when you have 85 quarterbacks in there, that means you ain't got one.
Mm-hmm.
But I've won in the Big Ten if I'm Casey. Them guys on the team that are left around know I can play. And if he's Casey, if I'm Casey, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm better than them guys. Yeah, just a matter of time.
You're saying that to yourself, but it also can be a disadvantage too because it's a new system.
Sure. Yeah, because there's nothing like live reps.
There's nothing like live reps. It's a new system. How you gonna perform in this system? Now he's getting a lot of mental reps on what not to do,
and sometimes that's the best thing
to do. But the live reps with him seeing a defense to what he wants, what he called,
right,
and getting the offense in the right play.
I'm just saying from Casey's standpoint, the mental I feel like he'll be there. I don't think this offense is so drastic that it's not anything that he hadn't kind of played in conceptually before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying it could be an advantage of him because from like nobody's really jumped out there and be like, man, you know what? This guy is taking the quarterback competition by storm. Actually, he has a strong hope. We feel so now, granted, halfway through spring. But no, you get what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
Like
I know
nobody's
exactly what
really
you're saying.
took a stronghold on it, right away. So you kind of think, okay, well then, if you ain't got one, you got many, and if you got many, you ain't got one.
You ain't got one.
And if I'm Casey, they ain't seen me yet. And sometimes if you say, okay, we've seen all these guys' weaknesses, right? Let's see what he can do.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, like, oh,
the light's gonna be on him in fall camp.
right. Oh yeah,
It's gonna be on.
But
him.
if he shines like
But
a
if he
diamond, then he's gonna be out there the
shines
first.
bright like a diamond.
Yeah.
So no, it's I mean it's a competition. That's what you want.
Right.
You want to see who's gonna compete, who's gonna step out there, and who's not.
As a quarterback in spring ball, what percentage of your reps do you want to be physical versus mental?
Well, they're all mental. As a quarterback, they're all mental.
That's one position
That's
you better
one
be
position
watching.
you better be yes.
Yeah, if you're in a quarterback competition, and look, it ain't just competition for the starter. It's competition for second
Mhm.
and possibly third and fourth. Because when you got 6 or 7 on scholarship, right? There's gonna be a couple gonna be gone eventually, because whether they get told that it's not gonna work out or they want to go play somewhere, there's gonna be some dissipation. So if you're over there just drinking Gatorade while these guys are getting reps, you ain't got a chance to play.
No, not a snowball chance.
That means you already done cut it off and turn it in.
Yeah.
So, for me, I guess if I was in a competition, and I've been in plenty of them, I want to be out there. And I think one of the things that people get confused by competition, you don't necessarily need to be out there and always you need to fail.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think sometimes people like competition, and it's like it's based on it's conditional. Like, I want the competition, I want so-called competition based on the condition that I end up at the advantage point instead of making your way. And what I mean by that is, I only want to do 4 reps and try to do the, okay, I'm going to give you that 4 reps. Well, I want to see you 6, 7, 8 reps deep out of those 12 in that series. I want to see how you play when you're tired. I want to know when you can. I want to know if you can communicate when you're tired. I want to know if you can lead other guys that aren't as experienced as you. I want to see some. I want to see, because as these coaches, they know they're not going to see any football that they hadn't seen before. So if you make a couple good plays at linebacker, or I'm just talking about linebacker, well, they've seen that somewhere before. Matt Rule's seen guys at the professional do it. Let's see what you can do besides your best. What else do you bring to the team? And, Kenny, I want to ask you this, man, about individual type of players. And the reason why I'm asking is just because, I coach some basketball, and I was, and one of the things I'm going to tell them is, when you do everything for yourself, it's easy to quit.
Mhm.
It's easy to kind of not finish, because all you're worried about is yourself, and you can lie to yourself. And it's a old, and what I mean by this is, say you're going, say we sign up for the Lincoln Marathon, half or whatever.
Hold on, we as in who?
I'm just first of all,
I ain't
going
doing
to- I know
I'm
you
just
ain't.
we ain't doing.
But if we signed up
Mhm.
and we're doing it together, say we're doing it for, say I'm doing it for my grandfather, you're doing it for, say, your mom, okay, but we're doing it together, we're going to hit every mark when we train.
We're going to practice together.
Right.
We're gonna hit every
Because
mark.
when you get tired, come on, Kenny.
Yep.
When I get tired, come on, Jay.
Yep.
But if you're by yourself, I'll just walk out the last quarter mile.
Mm-mm.
Right? It's easy to quit when you're a selfish type of person.
Or when you're by yourself.
Right. But when you're only doing it for yourself, though. Right? Now, if you're by yourself training, you're doing it for a bigger purpose, you can push yourself. Right. But when you're doing everything for yourself and you're an individual, selfish type of player, generally, those are the players, right? And I'm going to ask you in your opinion, that tap out. And those are the guys that nobody follows, because those are the guys that are going to quit on you. They're going to quit on themselves because they won't be able to push themselves to the maximum, because they're only playing for themselves. The teams that are generally the best are playing for each other.
Yeah. And we always stress, play for the man to your right, man,
Right.
for the man to your left. But those guys that are doing it the me guys, they hurt you on Saturday. They hurt you on Saturday because they've hurt you all throughout the week.
Right.
It just not
in all off season.
In all off season because they take shortcuts and those are the same guys we were talking about out front the media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They will hurt you on Saturdays because you continue to allow them to do that, and then they get a personal foul on the last drive to keep a drive going. You know what I mean?
Or something like that.
So,
But
it has happened. They get a personal foul on the last drive, and it keeps the drive going when you're up, and you do that, and then you lose the game. So the me guys will hurt you as long as you continue to let them hurt you.
True. And there hasn't been any truly great players that were me guys.
No.
There's been more great players that were team guys that everybody rallied behind and they uplifted them, right? And the thing about me guys, that what is interesting is those are the guys that actually will kill the head coach's message
because they become locker room lawyers.
You're right. They will kill, even if, and the worst thing you could do is not know who's a really me. And then one thing, a really good me guy, a very strategic me guy can camouflage himself as a team guy and be hurting that team 10 times over internally.
Yes.
Because those me guys will always try to find shortcuts in the way that you train, always question everything you do as a coach or like in the weight room or like schematics or any type of message, say it's a team building thing. They will play, well, in this case, football as an individual, and they're disguising themselves in there. They will do enough to make sure it looks like on tape. And if you don't have an astute eye, I always talked about the Wolves, right? If you don't have an astute eye, you can't tell the difference. And that's probably one of the biggest things that Matt Rule and staff has to do. And I think that's why he's doing some of the things he's doing in his way, is where he's trying to separate those guys.
Yep.
And he has enough experience to where he knows. And first of all, if you want to talk about his pro experience or not, that's what you're going to see that 10 times over in there. Now, the difference about the pros, the me guys know I have to take care of me, so I got to check at the end of next week.
Yes.
But they also know if I play better and I do my job, right, then we're going to play better as a team.
And we're going to win.
And it's a different mentality type of me. The me guys are not always, they aren't your hardest workers. They're never playing for anything else besides themselves. And when you need them the most, they're nowhere to be found.
Nope.
It's always, and it's withstood the test of time. It's always been like that. So if Matt Rule can get those guys out of the locker room, and rightfully so, his tenure here will start faster, like as far as winning football, and he will build a consistent winner. Because I'm a firm believer at Nebraska, once we started to be okay with more me guys, we went downhill.
Mm-hmm.
We went downhill. And we couldn't. Am I right there?
Downhill with no brakes.
Am I right in that assessment?
No, you're right on. You're riding downhill on a bike with no brakes.
And here's
just
why
praying that you can.
Here's my perfect example, Austin. How are you grossly, in my opinion, overweight as a 4-year player here? And then when I see you for pro day, I don't even recognize you. That's a personal choice. Am I correct there, Kenny?
No, you're right.
Right?
You're right.
That's a personal choice.
Or there's lack of respect for
where you at.
For where you at.
Right.
And who you're
where
with.
You're at, who you're with.
So then you're not playing for anybody but yourself. Again, a me guy. Disguised. What is that? What is it? What are Decepticons or whatever? More than
Chameleon.
Right. Hey, hold on. What was it? Do you remember that? Hey, text line. What?
Autobots and Decepticons?
Yeah. More than meets the eye. Ain't that it? Right.
There's a new one coming out, by the way.
Is there?
Yeah.
Hey, my daughters just told me there's this new Super Mario movie coming out. They want to kick it. Yeah, I know. They want to go see it. I'm going to go check it out, man. Anyways, good first segment at the second hour. Brought back a little Transformers. You know what I mean? We need them Thundercats.
Oh,
Thundercats.
You don't know about that.
I know Thundercats.
You do?
You do?
Didn't watch it, but I heard
Lion-O and the Thundercats.
Wow,
You know about?
I think there was a couple Thundercats action figures in my grandma's house.
What about Voltron?
Heard of it?
Yeah, I used to hit all my little cartoons before I head off to school. Anyways, we'll come back that second hour or second segment. I wanted to ask you a little bit more about OBJ. We'll get you on the text line. We're going to answer your question about OBJ. What's he going to do? And I want to ask you specifically what you think he will do, especially coming off an ACL injury. Obviously, what you know a little bit about. Kenny Wilhite, Jay Foreman, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Spring is in the air. Everyone knows this is the best time of the year to buy and sell a home. Johanna Rhodes with RE/MAX Concepts Real Estate is your go-to agent for help with one of life's big decisions. Come see Johanna at the Lincoln Earth Day celebration Saturday, April 15th at UNL's Innovation Campus. Green vehicles, local foods, live music, and family-friendly activities from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Learn more at lincolnearthday.org.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $10 off any athletic shoes $105 and under, and get $15 off any shoe over $105. Choose from respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, On, and 361 Running. And don't forget the trendy Hey Dudes. A new shipment just arrived for the season. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln. Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carryout, or schedule a catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's crazy. They just be giving dudes away, man. To the Cowboys of anybody.
They ain't gonna win anyway.
I know.
You
Jay
give 'em-
Foreman, Kenny Wilhite, we're back old school. Somebody asked me, man, why you hate the Cowboys? I said, man, it's for life, man. I hate the Cowboys. Jerry didn't, you know, they brought me down there, man. They ain't sign your boy up, man.
When you were a free agent?
Oh, no, I was coming off like my broken
Oh,
leg.
you coming off your injury?
Yeah,
They
Bill
just brought
Parcells
you down and just
worked me out a little bit. It wasn't even really a workout. We went through a physical and all that. Then they signed like some old linebacker. That dude lasted like one game. But you
That's
know,
what
that
they-
was it.
that's the kind of moves that they make.
They do. I know the Cowboys are gonna Cowboys. But now we're gonna talk to you about OBJ, man. We got a text here, and he says, "What is OBJ gonna do? Not coming back from another knee injury. What's he gonna do? What you think his prognosis is gonna be? You think he's gonna be? Do you think OBJ is? Here's what I want to ask your opinion. You too, Austin. Do you think the height of him, right? Good. Now, granted, he was a great player in college. He's had some good years in the league. Do you think his height was that catch? That was it. Was that it?
I think his height?
The height of his career. Like he hasn't, like that was his, like, what do you call it?
You said
Apex?
He hasn't done anything since that catch.
Well, I'm
pretty
sure,
much.
but I mean, it's been a lot of drama.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of injuries. It's been inconsistent play, and he's been well traveled. Now he was able to go to the Rams, and I felt like if he would have still been at the Rams and been, if he wouldn't got hurt. But I'm just saying, circumstances or not.
So far, yes.
That's his apex.
So far, yes.
Definitely the best moment. I pulled up his stats just to see. So that catch came in 2015. He had 96 catches for 1,450 yards.
That year.
Yes.
2016,
he went 101 for 1,400.
Okay, that's
2018, he went 77 for 1,000. 2019 went 74 for 1,000. His first year in Cleveland.
So he's had over 50 catches since that catch, which is really good. A season. He hasn't had less than 50. I mean,
So, well, it's 2017. He had 25 in only 4 games. He got hurt.
Because he got hurt.
Then 2020,
2020, 2021,
catches, 21 at 44.
Yeah, he hasn't, like, I'm talking about these last 3 years, right? Last year and a half in Cleveland, he had 40 catches in a season and a half.
And that's what
and he played 7 games. Then he played 6 games and only had 17 catches for 232 yards. Then he went to the Rams and had 27 catches for 303 and 5 touchdowns. So that's definitely productive. So you got to think so he had 44 catches his last year playing for about 537 yards and 5 TDs.
The splash plays hasn't been there since that catch.
Yeah.
But other than his injuries, I think he's done okay. Now, what is he going to do coming off this injury? We don't know.
Right.
Not 15 mil guaranteed. Hasn't done that much.
Say that what?
He's not worth 15 mil guaranteed.
No, sir.
Hasn't been.
No, sir. No, sir. But they gave it to him. I ain't knocking him.
Jets balked at it. The Jets said no.
Jets dropped the ball. So we'll see. Hopefully he's teamed up with my man.
Yeah. I think for him, in my opinion, I think that he came in like a lot of young players, rightfully so, and took the league by storm. When you think you're a rookie, you play 12 games, have 91 receptions as a rookie, 1,300 yards, 12 TDs. Then the next year you play 15 games, 96 catches, 1,450. So now you're going up. Now usually you think like, okay, people adjust to you. Nah, I'm taking it to another level. Then he takes it to a superior level. He says, not only that, I'm going to play every single game. I'm going to have 101 catches, 1,367, 10 TDs.
That's 3 straight years of just complete balling out.
Right. That's 35 touchdowns as a receiver.
With over, 250? Is that 200 or 300? What is it? Total catches.
It's 209. It's almost 300 catches.
Almost 300 catches.
Right. So I'm beating you. I'm taking the top up because I think the longest in his first year, longest catch, 80 yards. Second year, 87. Third year, 75. So not only am I killing you mid-range, I'm taking the top off. Right. So I'm dominating the league. Then obviously he must have got hurt. Only played in 4 games. Still had 3 TDs, so he was still, right back on it. I think that was in the ACL. His last year in New York, 77 catches, 1,000 yards, 6 TDs. I think the pressure got on him. He didn't have as good as supporting cast. And Austin, let me know, is that when they made the playoffs and took the vacation down to Miami, and then they lost that playoff game? Remember when they had the picture on the boat, all the receivers?
Yes.
Yes, 2016 playoffs, January of 2017, it would have been then. They got smacked by the Packers in Lambeau.
Yeah.
That's when they won the boating trip.
But he bounced back, was productive. So really, to be honest with you, when you think about his career, he has 5 1,000-yard seasons, 3 seasons where at least 2 of them, he could say, I'm the best receiver in the league. That second and third year, he's the best receiver in the league. Then I think, and he had over a G the first year in Cleveland. And then the second year and half of the third, I just think that he wanted to go there and play with his former teammate and Baker Mayfield. And I think it just never worked.
We talked about it early. Was that when they took that trip? Is that being me guy, or is that just?
That's a me guy.
Okay.
That's dealing with success. I know playing in New York is different. You got to be extremely focused. I think that was, again, a young team and a young player getting in his own way, worried about himself, going to do whatever he wants, because I can guarantee you, Eli Manning was not like, that's not what you do.
That's not what you need to be doing.
And and whether it was a full distraction or not, the fact that it was a distraction, it showed a lack of focus, and it didn't work out. Now, if they would have won, more power to you. Because if you really listen to some of the Pittsburgh Steelers podcasts of their former players, Brian McFadden and all those guys, and Ryan Clark, they used to go to Vegas on Monday nights and when they had victory Mondays. People don't know that, just to get away and blow some steam off. But Pittsburgh was winning. They were showing up to play. Mike Tomlin was cool with it, and those guys were producing.
But they were producing. They were showing up to play.
Right. But they wasn't doing it during playoffs. They do it in the
regular season.
Regular season. And they was coming to knock your head off.
When it's for all the marbles, you can't be taking trips like that.
So I wonder, so it'd be interesting to see how he does this year in general. And then if he's playing with Lamar, with a new offensive coordinator, is this the Ravens somewhat paying for his so-called number one? To be like, so you can kind of curtail the like, you guys have never given Lamar a true number one receiver. I think if Rashad Bateman gets healthy, as we've seen, him from the Gophers, he's a real deal. He's a real deal when he's healthy. Him and OBJ, along with Andrews, you could have a pretty nice little offensive.
Do you think that's the reason why he chose the Ravens? Because they've had a conversation about.
That's what Lamar? I wanted you to ask. Do you think that all these players talk?
That's what I'm saying.
And there had been rumors that the Ravens and Lamar have been kind of talking and negotiating. So obviously,
I'm talking about the reason why OBJ.
That's what I'm just saying. So if Lamar and the Ravens have been talking, and OBJ has probably reached out to Lamar and got at least a sense that a possibility where he's going to, and he probably talked to his agent, saying, "What do you think's going to happen with Lamar?" That had to go into why he chose to go there.
I can agree with that,
because let's think of the flip side. Is at this point with OBJ, he has tons of marketing off the field. If New York is offering you 12 or say 13, if they're offering you 12, you got to figure out and get 13. $2 million is $2 million, but the guarantee that you're going to be able to potentially, obviously, more than likely play with Aaron Rodgers. They had to have some conversation. They had to have some conversation even when they called him up. As a receiver, that's what you're going to ask.
Yeah. Who's going to be my quarterback?
Right.
Who's going to give me the ball?
What's up? Because, you got to get a sense. You can't be like, oh, well, we don't know. You got to have a sense.
As they were saying, him and Hellman.
Right.
You got to know.
Because here's also, OBJ is not at the point of his career where he can just say, I can just have another non-productive year.
No. He's playing for his livelihood in the NFL right
This is it. This is it for him, for how he likes to be viewed.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if he's okay with being the third or fourth receiver and teaching guys things. Kind of like Cam Newton.
No.
Yeah, here we'll talk a little bit about Cam Newton. Here's my opinion on Cam. If you're Cam, right? If I'm talking to you, Cam, I truly believe there's not 31 other court. There's not, you should be, possibly playing and starting in the NFL. I do believe that. But the NFL is telling you, you're not a starter. Regardless of what I think, in my heart, regardless of what you think in your heart or in your head. We could talk about facts. We could talk about situation. At the end of the day, they are telling you that you're not a starter. What we have to do, if I'm your agent, is verbally and by our actions, be okay with being a backup and be ready for our opportunity.
Or go play somewhere else, get some more film.
Yeah,
go
up to Canada and
go to Canada, XFL, USFL, go play, light it up, and then they're gonna come calling for you.
Then they have to.
They're gonna come calling for you.
PJ Walker, actually Matt Rule's quarterback went to I think XFL, lit them up. Now he started 4 or 5 games for Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm. He's with the Colts in their practice squad for a while.
So go play some.
But
if you love the game,
if you really want to play,
and you think you consider yourself a starter, go play in one of those leagues.
Because they really, it's 2 different situations. But it's kind of like Colin Kaepernick. How much do you really want to play? Do you want to talk or do you want to play?
There you go. Or you want to wear those funny clothes?
Yeah.
And
your hair. Do you? See, at this point in time, if I'm talking to Cam, you might not like it. But if you love to play, this is what has to change. The funny clothes, the podcast with Brittany Griner or whatever her name is, all that stuff got to stop. You have to do essentially a total 180.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be the best dressed. You got to be the most attentive. You got to be a student of the game. You have to do something to let them know that that you are serious about it, because once you get in there and you get into the season, you're the backup, chances are you're going to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you play and you perform well, then you'll get paid. Perfect example, Geno Smith.
I was just about to say, perfect example, Geno Smith.
He was backup for I don't know how long. He got a chance, and they were like, you know what, this guy is actually pretty good. He's actually a good leader. Now, they probably still draft the quarterback, but he got paid.
Broke off. What did he get, 100? Hundo?
Yeah, like 50-something guaranteed. But the thing is, when he left New York, he was when he left the Jets, he was known as a bust.
Yes.
Malcontent. Went up there off the beaten path.
Got humbled.
But he also accepted it.
Yes.
Then he got better. And then he embraced himself as the backup. Now look at him. Playing way longer than anybody projected him to ever play after he left New York.
Ain't mad at him.
So, yeah, if I'm Cam Newton, that's what I'm trying to do. If you're not, you're going to be a guy every offseason talking about these guys ain't better than me.
Or at 707, Cam's fighting with.
That little kid was a punk. Bro.
Arguing with kids.
That kid was disrespectful.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
you got to be a better
you have got to play
Cam
the game.
didn't pull a John Morant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, though, this is what I talk about. You got these young guys for players, and this is even for high school kids going to college. You have to play the game.
You have to,
especially when you're not in a position of power. You see, look, man.
Been saying it.
Look, listen. Terrell Owens, right now he could go out there and play receiver,
mm-hmm.
but when he got jettisoned from the league, he still had productive years. But guess what? They didn't want.
The antics.
The antics.
They didn't want it.
But guess what? They accepted the antics when he was the best
receiver.
They're okay with Cam Newton after he had the MVP season doing all that stuff. They're not okay with you questioning a female reporter. They're not okay with you doing the stuff that you're not doing. You can't go into every offseason the same, because time has not lost.
Nope.
Father Time.
It will catch up to you.
Has beat every man out there. Only person I thought that was going to beat it was Tom Brady, and I saw Father Time catch up. It knocked on his shoulder, but Tom Brady said, "You know what? I ain't answering. I'm out." And he retired. He knew it, but guess what? He's the only one that fought Father Time, and you could make an argument. Circumstances hurt his game this year, but he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, Father Time, is sitting there walking hand in hand with you. There's only one way you're going to be able to go the other way, and that's you got to humble yourself. Good segment there, me and Kenny. We're going to come back, short segment, send you guys off on this Monday. Go down to Mercado and get some grub. Rub-a-dub-dub, let's grub. That's how I bless the food, man. I mean, you know what? When we come back, I'm going to tell you what your boy Mike Rucker did to me, man, when I had to bless the food. I'm going to tell you this funny story. We're going to send you guys off. Kenny Wilhite, Jay Foreman, we out.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Mike Shaver here to tell you that Trek CBD has a new name, and it's Hemp Boss. It's the same product you've grown to love, just a new name. Spring sports are on the horizon, and Hemp Boss has a variety of products that help calm me down during games and on the golf course so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options for you to calm you down before, during, and after any event. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Hemp Boss has it all at 84th and Internet. Hemp Boss, naturally healthy CBD.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union, how great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love being members?
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it was to move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union.
Learn more about being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Member NCUA.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, April 14th. I am back. You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
Spring is in the air. Everyone knows this is the best time of the year to buy and sell a home. Johanna Rhodes with RE/MAX Concepts Real Estate is your go-to agent for help with one of life's big decisions. Come see Johanna at the Lincoln Earth Day celebration Saturday, April 15th at UNL's Innovation Campus. Green vehicles, local foods, live music, and family-friendly activities from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Learn more at lincolnearthday.org.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Expect mostly sunny skies and just a beautiful way to start off the work week. We'll reach a high of 77. Winds turning out of the northeast around 10. Clear tonight with a low dropping down to around 49. It will be warm and windy tomorrow. We'll reach a high of 85 with south winds gusting to 30. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, old school. Kenny Wohite, Jay Foreman. We got about a minute and a half. But I said, Kenny, you know, it'd be the closest ones that get you. Funny story is Mike Rucker was getting married after our first year in the league. And, you know, he invited me. I was in his wedding. And, you know, they have the groomsmen dinner. And, you know, of course, they have the bridesmaids. And, you know, all the parents are there. You know, we kicked it hard and stuff. So that's, I'm thinking like it was me, Wilson, you know, we Rat Pack, but we about to, do our thing. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I'd really, I really appreciate it if you would bless the food at the dinner. Now, mind you, I got the ultimate respect for his mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
Love them like my own parents, So they accepted me for me, right? I was like, yo, I was like, you serious? He's like, yeah. So then I was scared. Then so finally we went out drinking a little bit. I said, man, you serious? You want me to do that? He's like, yeah. And then his boys went on it. I was like, I went home. I think I called my dad at like 1 o'clock in the morning. He thought I was like something happened. I said, look, man, Ruck want me to bless the food. You got to help me out.
Help me out.
Right? So he's like, I'll think of something. He's like, let me call Uncle Butch. So the next day, they on my Nextel speakerphone. I'm writing it down on the hotel.
Get your cheat sheet.
Yeah. So we get to right up to the groomsmen dinner. I'm like, Ruck, man, you serious? He's like, you got something planned? You got something planned? So we dressed up. I got it. I pulled out my suit. He's like, man, you don't need to say all that. He's like, here's what you need to say. He's like, I've been thinking about it. He's like, you just need to say rubber-dub-dub, let's grow. He's like, yeah, man, we're real low-key. I was like, you serious? He's like, no, I've been messing with you the whole time. Man, Kenny, I was so nervous. Wait, not even national championship games? Nothing. I was so nervous where you get hungry. I think I ate 3 plates. You hear me? 3 salads, 2 entrees,
3 desserts.
Hey, 5 vodka cranberries. I was just done.
Can't do you like that, bro.
Yeah, man. Your boy that got me, man. They took me all the way up there, man. It was funny though. After I was like, whew. I'm glad I ain't had to do that.
Always.
Yeah, because they knew I don't like surprises. So they knew they played me like that, man. Don't give me no surprises, Austin and Kenny. We have some smoke up in here, man.
I hate them too.
Appreciate you guys listening. We'll be back tomorrow. Rest of the week, obviously. Good weather outside. Go down to the Mercado. I'm gonna head down there midweek and try to see what I can get into, man. We'll show you how I get down.
I want pictures.
Yeah,
I want proof.
Trust me.
I want proof.
It's gonna be racks on racks of ribs. Trust me. Swine,
I want
everything.
Proof.
Pork chop.
How much for one rib? How much for one rib?
Exactly.
What movie that?
Oh, come on, man.
See, got him. How much for one rib? Come on, Austin. Hurry up, Austin. How much for one
Friday.
rib? No.
It was CB4?
No.
I know it was Chris Rock.
It was Chris Rock.
I had to look it up. I'm gonna get you second.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
How much
man,
for one rib?
Kenny got me, man. I got him with the whatchamacallit, Lion-O, Thundercats, Ho. Hey, man, we out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hip.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work,